In a major breakthrough, the G20 adopted the New Delhi Leaders Summit declaration on Saturday after Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that consensus had been reached among member states.
हमारी टीम्स के हार्डवर्क से और आप सभी के सहयोग से नई दिल्ली G20 लीडर्स समिट डिक्लेरेशन पर सहमति बनी है।
The announcement came hours after India circulated a new text to the G20 countries to describe the Ukraine conflict. The New Delhi Declaration calls on all states to uphold the principles of international law, including territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Noting that the G20 is not the platform to resolve geopolitical and security issues, the leaders recognized that they can have significant consequences for the global economy. In particular, they dwelt on the ongoing war in Ukraine and the impact it has had, especially on developing and least developing nations still recovering from the pandemic and economic disruption.
The declaration also acknowledges the disproportionate impact of climate change on all women and girls, thereby deciding to accelerate climate change with gender equality at its core.
Focuses on reducing labor force participation gap, bridging the gender digital divide. There's a huge focus on gender inclusive climate action. There's a completely big focus on women's food security, nutrition and well-being, and we've created a new working group on empowerment of women, which Brazil will carry forward.
The G20 declaration also condemns terrorism in all its forms, saying all acts of terrorism are criminal and unjustifiable, regardless of their motivation, wherever, whenever, and by whomsoever committed.
Another subject that was addressed by them, as the Sherpa noted, was countering terrorism and money laundering. The leaders condemned terrorism in all its forms and manifestations and recognized that it constitutes one of the more serious threats to international peace and security.
One of the key aspects of this presidency has been its focus on developing and emerging markets. No document of G20 has had such an immense focus on developing and emerging markets and the voice of the global south as this particular document has. This is a document of the global south. This is a document of the developing countries which came together and spelled out their priorities. And India has been the spokesperson of all the global south and spelled out their priorities in this document.
The G20 member countries have also agreed to support policies that would enable trade and investment to serve as an engine of growth and prosperity for all. The leaders renewed their commitment to ensure a level playing field and fair competition by discouraging protectionism and market-distorting practices to foster a favorable trade and investment environment for all.
Convened in Berlin in November, also as a side